And now on to our next guest. After the amazing interview with Black Hole Factory, we now have the Red Room Company, who are also performers. I'll pass on to Eamon, who will be interviewing them.
Thank you, Veronica. I have one person from Red Room Company, and I think she might tell us her name.
Hi, I'm Eunice Andrada. I'm representing the Red Room Company. I'm a poet, and the Red Room Company is an amazing organization that brings poetry to schools, primary and secondary, as well as correctional centres across Australia in such unique and exciting ways.
You said you do performances and poetry in schools. That pretty much actually answered the question I was going to ask you. So I might want to ask something else. Do you do poetry in public areas?
I do. I perform around Sydney, the Philippines, and Canada recently. I perform for festivals and different literary festivals here and there, so that's always really exciting.
All right. And I might ask something that's a little odd. Would you mind actually reading us a bit of your poetry?
Why not? That's what I'm here for. Do you mind if I stand up?
That's all right.
Sure, okay. So this poem is all about climate change and the devastating effects that it can have on island nations like the Philippines, which is where I'm from, as well as island nations that are being severely affected by rising sea levels and other phenomena caused by climate change. Perhaps the further you are, the quieter we become in this spectacle of drowning. As you watch baby teeth float to shore after the ocean spits out another hometown. You can pretend we aren't here. You can pretend this earth can feed us for as long as soil cracks beneath your machinery. Our pulses know the rhythm of emergencies, just like our islands know the Pacific salt that cradles them. There was a time it could preserve us. 2 years ago, the number of people displaced by natural disasters tripled the number of war refugees. How can you see sky and not admit decay? These waters are swallowing archipelagos as eyes swell shut. Now my hometown is still drying its feet as more poison bleeds overhead. They say it is sacrifice so we can live in comfort. But what shelter can we find in a poisoned empire? Collect those stones from your mouth. There is no grace in sinking. Let us not gorge our pockets with false promises to stop nations from drowning, to protect our people's food grown from the land so no child's stomach will swell with the ocean. Let us not say there is nothing we could have done. Let this be the beginning of us rising.
That was actually very great. I'm very impressed. How do you even come up with all this poetry?
Well, all my poetry actually comes from a retrospective points of view. So it all comes from memory and the ocean is such a huge part of who I am and how I deal and cope with things, a huge part of my writing process as well. So I take all these images from my memory and I refer to writing as a process of building, and that's how I build poems.
Wow. Now, do anyone else help you with your poetry?
Yes, definitely. I was involved with the Red Room Company, which is such an amazing place to nurture young minds when it comes to creating poetry, and to be involved in their workshops as well is an amazing experience and incredibly enriching as a young writer. As well as the Red Room Company, I've worked with Candy Royale, who's mentored me for quite a bit. And she's really inspired me to step out of my comfort zones when it comes to performing and writing poetry.
All right, thank you for telling us all of that. Anyway, your poetry was fantastic. I hope we could see you again. Thank you for being on Yes TV, and hope we see you again. I'll now pass back.